Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be covering Nature Boy, but I have a special guest to break this all down about the carbonation, Nature Boy, about a cult. I have a special guest, Triple C Treehouse. You are live. How you doing?
Fine. How you doing tonight or this
I,
evening?
I okay. Let me be honest. When I watched the interview on Tasha K platform with the carbonation members, I felt some type of way. Like they was like, they was like, whatever they was doing. I'm like, what is going on? And them were some beautiful black women, and those are
Mhm.
beautiful black men. My first question to ask you, Triple C, is why do you think that people are in that cult?
Mental illness,
Wow.
looking for looking for a family. That's how people usually end up in cults. They feel like something's missing and they'll go looking for that feeling. And with a cult, the first thing they're gonna do is love bomb you. Overwhelming love. You need it, I got it for you. You hungry? Come eat. You want to sit up and talk to 3 in the morning? We could do that. Anything you need until they get you integrated. Once you're integrated, that's a totally different scenario.
Because when I was looking at, them women, when Tasha K was interviewing them, and they were talking about their upbringing. Some of them had fathers, some of them been in 2-parent homes, some of them did really good in high school. Even one sister said she was in her 3rd year in college, and she seen a
Mhm.
video of Nature Boy, and she just dropped everything, left everything behind to follow him.
Some people are susceptible and some people aren't. But you know who Mark Lamont Hill is, right?
Yes.
Mark Lamont Hill was once a Nuwapian, the cult led by Malachi Z. York, and he molested over 130. Well, he got over 135 years in jail on RICO charges, transferring children across state lines for the purposes of sexual intentions.
I didn't even know Mark Lamar Hill was a part of that.
Back when he was in college. There are doctors that have joined cults, scientists that have joined cults. It's not a matter of intelligence as to
Wow.
why a person is or is not in a cult.
Because when I looked at it, and one
First, hold on 1 second. First off, it wasn't Kool-Aid, it was Flavor Aid. Second off, the majority of people at Jonestown did not die by drinking that. They were shot. They were shot up with drugs to kill them, and they were force-fed that. They killed all the children first. Be respectful to people that are no longer here to defend themselves.
that's true. I feel you on that. Hearing all of this, do you believe that those women and men need to be out of that cult? Because when I was looking at it, I'm like, they don't look like they malnourished. They look like they're eating well. Some even
He
sound
starves them. He
okay.
starves them off and on, even though he's in jail right now. If he tells them, because about a week or two ago, I think it was, Solar was like, yeah, I've been eating too much, getting too fat. In my mind, I say, Nature Boy done told him to quit eating like that, save money so they can get their money up for their lawyer and stuff. And sure enough, all of them just quit eating.
Wow.
He has them conditioned. You know how you train an animal? But you
Wow.
train that, you know how a bad person trains an animal? That's how you train a human.
Wow.
He used to, when they were in, what was it, Costa Rica, he used to have them in a shed on timeout for days. You at the middle of the equator in 100 and something degree weather in a tin shed with no AC for days.
I was looking at the interview that she did with them, and they were talking about. She asked them about their upbringing, and two of the members said they left their Babylon. They call it Babylon children
Mm-hmm.
behind. And I'm like, as a mother, could you leave your children behind to join this cult? Like I could believe that they left their children behind.
You can't make sense of the senseless. Cults have been around since the beginning of time. It's not a thing about means. It's not a thing about, whether they have family or not. People come from loving homes and get mixed up in cults. It's just, how deep are you going to get mixed up? The people that are more mentally and physically damaged might get more wrapped up in it because they don't have anything on the outside to kind of compensate for what they're lacking.
Yeah, because when I heard that, I'm like, wow, y'all literally left your children behind and not even speaking to your children, not even speaking to the family. Now that she asked him a question about their sex life, that do they have sex with each other? And their answer was they didn't really want to answer it, but they said, listen, it's a natural thing. It's not like forced or anything like that. But do you believe that they was forced to have sex?
Sometimes it's been too many instances, too many of them done ran off. And if you are not there against your will, why do you have to wait until everybody's asleep to run off?
Wow.
Why do you have to have somebody to pick you up? I'm sorry, I'm not canned up, but I'm in transit and I'm tired of dragging all this equipment back and forth to my truck. So my camera is currently in my truck. So that's why y'all don't see me today.
I'm hearing when that situation happened, I'm like, oh my God, this is really out of the ordinary for these women and men to go through it. Because clearly I think they were seeking knowledge and they just so happened to seek a scammer and to prey
Mhm.
on them seeking knowledge, because most of them said they love Dr. King or Malcolm X. Some of them said they were Christian. Most of them said they was really intelligent in school, and I think they was seeking some type of knowledge, and they just so happened to find Nature Boy, which I believe is a
Yeah, it's
scammer.
just it's plenty of he's more than a scammer. He's a scammer and a cult leader. Well, a cult leader is in essence a scammer anyway because they're using people to prop them up into a position that they couldn't attain on their own, really.
Right, and I hear that. And another point that I want to make about Nature Boy, one of the women, I think she called herself the queen, like the head, because she said her vagina is like the best vagina out of all of them. And she said she was battling with a former member of the cult because the member was getting jealous that they had to share their man, that you had to share, and she didn't want to share. And I'm like,
Velvet and not a furu. What is Malia?
okay,
Malaria. That girl was in the hospital. She was in hospice care. They thought she was gonna die.
wow,
Her organs were shifted. That was in what like right before the pandemic hit. They were in, I think, Puerto Rico. They bounce around so much, it's hard to keep the locations in order. But they've gotten kicked off, what, 3, 4 continents? Yeah, that Velvet's YouTube channel is Velvet Marquez something something. But if you type in Velvet Marquez, you'll find it.
wow, I didn't even know that because it's so much to
Get the
follow.
hospice care. They thought she was gonna die. Okay, so this is how it was set up. Nature Boy went off into quote unquote nature, and then he said that he could cure people. He can cure you of herpes. He could cure you of he could just cure you of everything. A lady went over there and he took her medication. He told her she didn't need it. And she later passed. That was in the earlier years. That was like in year 2, year 3, after he came out.
Hmm.
That was Mama Dia.
Wow, and she passed away.
And they dropped her off at the morgue with a sheet
Wow,
on her, no clothes.
that is so unfortunate
Uh,
because all of the members kept saying when Tasha K was interviewing them that they watched the video and it was so inspiring for them to follow. I, I I don't know what the name of the video or what make them like what he saying in the video, but obviously it was something to make them say, "Hey, I'm gonna leave everything behind." He must have really been spending something in
well,
those videos.
Musa went down there because Musa had Well, these are their words. Musa had herpes. He went down there to get cured. Um, which one was it? No, Malia. Supposedly, she already had the package when she went down there. The other girl, that one guy, Caliber, he was in his video that because Nature Boy used to make them come out and do these videos where they would admit all this stuff. So it's a
Wow.
toss up whether it's real or whether it's fake, because that's a cult tactic. They'll have you admitting stuff that you've never done in your life, and then they'll record it or have it documented, notarized, or whatever, and then they'll pull it out if you try to denounce the cult.
I was
So, it's like, is it true or is it not? Because at first I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And then I was like, no, they got something because everybody down there, skin looking funky, you know, one Nature Boy at one point looked like he had fungus on his face or something.
Wow. And because they was in the jail, they was kicked out multiple places. But
This
Tasha,
is, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. This is like the third chat, and Angel something then had something to say. And don't you have anything better to do to find out where I'm at on YouTube and just act grody?
right?
Just no.
I want to ask you this question because
Mm-hmm.
it was he instructed one of the members to slap the members, right? And that kind of like went viral. And Tasha K asked her, why would you go around slapping the member? Like what? She was like, it was just showing that your dedication, that it wasn't that serious at all. You can clearly tell that they have really been conditioned that what they're doing is a spiritual awakening. But clearly it's a cult because you have to leave your kids behind, you have to leave your mom behind, your dad, your
Mm-hmm.
entire being, your family.
Those are your Babylon children, your Babylon parents, But they've been down there, like the most of the ones that's down there now, they was down there close to the beginning.
Yes.
So it's like those are just the most hardcore because there's plenty of people that's been left, after they had a sticking point, they left.
Yeah, because like most of
Yeah, and
them
then they
like
say
4 or 5
Nature
years.
Boy has STDs as well. I forgot. It's so much that you be forgetting stuff.
Yes. And were you surprised when the SWAT knocked down the door and
Mm-mm.
that were you shocked that happened?
No, when I saw them dancing in the rain, and then the video they did after that, bitch, did I ask for a strawberry? Did you see that?
I did see that.
After that, I said, you know what? They ain't gonna last long. This is Georgia. You in Georgia in the cul-de-sac acting a donkey. They gonna come get y'all. I didn't know GBI was gonna come falling down from the trees, but I knew they was gonna come get it.
Do you think one of my last questions I do want to ask you, do you think that Nature Boy will get out of jail? Do you think that he will beat those charges?
Even if Natiri comes up and says she lied, they don't need her at this point. They have about 10 electronic devices, at least. If you give me a second, I can
Okay.
tell you exactly how many. Let me see, DeKalb County.
Wow. We are live with Triple C. She definitely know more, an expert, I would say, into this cult that's called Carbon Nation. And we are talking about the three god, the aka Nature Boy. I don't know.
Eligio Bishop.
Eligio Bishop is his name, yes. And we covered when he went to jail because I was shocked to
Mhm.
see the SWAT even go in the way that they did. I'm like, wow, it must have been something so serious from him. Some people even said that the white boy that they had in the cult was the one that told the FBI about what happened. But it was a lot of people I heard
You
complaining
know what?
about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people trying to insert themselves into it, like they have firsthand knowledge and stuff, and that kind of gets everybody confused. So yeah, but I just shared the screen. These are his. Let's see, order denying bond, petition for bond. This is the affidavit for, like, it's like 5 or 6 affidavits, and each one has listed devices.
Okay.
Apple iPhone, black phone, and a white case. They already have all of these.
So whether she tried to deny it or not, they already got a strong case against him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, look, they have 3 charges for revenge porn.
Wow.
3 charges for revenge porn. So that means that it was electronically put out. They subpoenaed Twitter already, and I'm quite sure they probably gonna subpoena every other social media platform that he was on there doing that.
Wow. And I know they did a lot of stuff on Bingo on that app. I don't know if they
Big O and Miko, I guess it's called.
uh-huh.
Migo or Miko.
Yeah. Wow. So what made you get interested to cover this on your channel?
My subs, they was like, look at this. The
Uh
Recheska subs, Blue Skies. She said, hey, can you come on the Wiley Show? I was like, sure. But yeah, they my subs, because like I was doing polite coverage. I do scammers in the community and stuff. So they were like, look at this. After he got kicked off Spirit Airlines because he stank, it was a done data.
Wow, really?
Yes. They got kicked out of, where was that? Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. They got kicked out and they were in, that was the I love who had on a camera. Everybody had cameras around. But no, they were over there. They got pulled over in the van because the registration was expired. And then Eligio and like 2 other people's papers weren't in order. So instead of them just going with the police, because it was like what, 9 of them in their van, and only 3 people needed paperwork fixed. So he was like, we're not gonna go down and all this other kind of stuff. And then they got in there and started hitting everybody with nightsticks, pulling out dreads. And he was on the floor talking about, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
No, they stank before they went to the jail because they weren't bathing. That was their thing. They did not bathe. All they did was jump in the river and get out. And they were moving bodily functions under the mango trees, saying that you don't put human waste on food that you on plants that you growing for food because it'll kill them. But they don't know stuff like that.
It just amazes me to see people.
He had them out there doing all kind of crazy stuff, and cults always come up during times of social distress. So as long as we as a community are at rest, there's potential for this to keep happening.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that those members that are there now would eventually leave?
More than likely, or try to keep it up on their own. Like if one of them thinks they're strong enough, they'll try to become the tree god. Running around here sounding like a bunch of chickens. Tree. I can't with them. But no, they got when they let them out the jail, because they had showers at the jail because they took them back to the jail to bathe. But when they left the jail because they was sitting up there looking pitiful. I ain't never seen nobody live stream from out the third world country jail before and act like they just oppressed. But they was live streaming in the jail. They was letting them use the phones and everything. And then when it was time for them to leave, they got on that plane and the folks started complaining. And they had to turn right back around, and they was in the little terminal talking about, this is some BS. And that we don't stink. You look at them and what's intriguing about Nature Boy? Mormons, Davidians, Amish people have been doing this for years. Just because it's a black man, y'all tried it. Well, the Amish people aren't under investigation right now for the R word, something else, and 3 charges of revenge porn. But if you knew anything about my channel, I'm an equal opportunist. If you scamming, if you out here culting, I'm gonna be on your dome. I'm gonna be on your top.
I feel you on that. Thank you so very much. How can people get in contact with you? How can people follow your channel and subscribe? Because I know I'm posting in the chat as well, but how can people find out more about you?
My main channel is Tripsy's Treehouse. We have a Facebook page by the same name as well. You can reach me at consciouscommunityconvo@gmail.com for any kind of, because my channel, we do mostly sub initiative. What do y'all want to hear?
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much, Triple C, for coming on. I definitely bring you back because I'm still doing research on this cult because it's a lot to consume.
It is. I mean, if you just fell in it when he went to jail, then when he got arrested, then you got a long way to go. Yeah. That's like trying to start Harry Potter at the end instead of the beginning. So
yes, thank you so very much for calling in. Thank you.
It's no problem.
Okay, bye. You guys, this cult is like I'm so intrigued by it. But when one of the members said that they left their children behind, I was literally like, what? You left your babies behind to follow a man? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm just not really there for it. So we definitely gonna keep y'all updated about this cult. If anything other up any details that's going to come up, I will definitely break it down to you all as we get it. Now, in my other segment, before I open up the phone lines, in my other segment, Bad Boys Atlanta auditions, it was some fights. Baby, they was in the line fighting, and Shamar was in the line fighting. They threw him in some bushes. They was in the line fighting. So it was some fights. Now, it was not as big as the Zeus Network auditions, but it were some fights. So we will definitely keep y'all updated on that. I got a couple of pictures of that, and I'm gonna definitely post for my members. But I don't have the video because the person that was recording it on Bingo turned off the screen record part so people couldn't screen record it. But yes, it was definitely some fights, and one was in the bushes. So Shamar, I think, was in the bushes. They were fighting. It was really, really embarrassing. I'm like, y'all went to Houston and y'all was fighting, and y'all went to Atlanta and y'all was fighting as well. That's just not really good at all. Okay. All right. I'm just saying when we come to this situation, okay? Somebody said, Wiley, don't feud the disputes between these YouTubers. They are doing videos on Nature Boy and Carbonation. They are arguing over who was first and who knew more. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that, sis. You have to call in to the show, and I'm definitely going to open up these phone lines. If y'all, I want to know y'all thoughts about Carbonation, about Nature Boy. I want to know y'all thoughts about it all. Definitely going to open up the phone lines for that. So give me a second here. We'll open the phone lines. So we'll love to get your points. But, let's be clear about back to the Bad Boys. Those people, they was, anytime you have Bad Boys auditions, it's going to be some people that really want to throw some hands and do some. So I'm not really shocked at all when that comes to. I'm not really shocked. I'm not really surprised that situation is going on. So we will definitely keep y'all updated on that. And I am definitely gonna get down with these phone lines because I know y'all want to call in. So give me a second. I'm opening up these phone lines and let y'all call in because I know a couple people was asking me as I'm opening up the phone lines. I will open up the phone lines and let you all call in. So give me a second here. Let me see. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video. And we thank you so very much, Triple C, for coming on the show. That was amazing. Thank you so very much, Blue Skies, for reaching out to her to come on the Wiley Show. I think that was amazing. It was really, really amazing talking to her. Hold on one second.
Your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press.
Your show is scheduled to start in 33 seconds.
Okay, 33 seconds is going to start. I'm going to put the number. Give me a second. 646-716-8447. I'm going to.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, we are live. Hopefully you can hear me. 3071. You live on air.
Hi, Wiley. I want to talk about both things, Nature Boy and the Bad Boys of Atlanta. Nature Boy, I watched the Tasha K video. I watched it on Bigo today. One of the hosts was streaming the video from her app, so I was happy about that. Those people did not want to follow instructions from their parents about going to college or getting a job, being successful, but yet they wanted to follow behind a sociopath and listen to him. that just really makes me believe those people are mentally ill. They suffered from probably depression. No, I'm not a psychologist or whatever, but I just wonder why refuse instruction from your parents to help you live a better life, but then listen to this person who is mentally ill. Leaving their kids behind, maybe that was a good thing because the kids didn't need to be there with him. I wouldn't be able to leave my child behind for foolishness or just period, because my child would come first in my life. So that's one thing I didn't understand. And then the Bad Boys of Atlanta, I did see that fight. And actually, I think somebody had mentioned in the comments, Mother Goat. I watched the fight in there. Shamar, from what I see, he brings a lot of drama and has never won not one fight. They let this little thing carry on and get them so hyped and in fights and stuff. I saw where he fell into the bushes. He tried to get back up, went and stood and watched his friend get mollywopped and drugged through the parking lot. Got back in the car and lied and said he tried to do this and he tried to do that, which was false. I want to know, like someone has said, did the person who got in the fight, Ty or Mother Goat, did she go to the hospital? Because this person was overweight. They say the person smokes, has asthma. You shouldn't be doing all that out in the heat. She couldn't even catch her breath. So do you know if she went to the hospital?
Well, I have no idea about that. I know you were watching it just like how many people was watching it on social media. I didn't know all that stuff was going on.
Yeah, and they're doing all this just to get clout and attention, and this is sickening. And I know people say, "Oh, the white stations do it." That's them. Why can't we do something that's better? And this is Pride Month. This is supposed to be celebration. Why so much animosity? Why so much anger? Just why? All for what do they get $1,000 just to be on all those episodes?
No,
And
they get more. I heard for the grapevine it's like $15,000-$16,000 for the entire season. For that, that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
They must really be broke. Sometimes working a normal job where you in a call center or you getting paid $14, $15, there's nothing wrong with that than to sit up there making yourself look stupid and getting this bad name. That's not going to help you. This is not a big TV show where people go over to where Nene and all them were, where they had the opportunity to make hundreds of thousands. 15.
Zeus is a big network. Millions of subscribers are subscribed to Zeus, and they are part of the culture right now. But I don't see I disagree a little bit, because I don't see a problem if you want to act a fool to be on television, because look how many black women acted a fool to be on television. So why can't black gay men act a fool to be on television? Black women have been doing it and made a lot of money for themselves doing that. So why can't black gay men do it?
Because black men have it harder. For one, you're black. Two, you're a man, and then three, you're gay.
But I'm saying, why can't they capitalize off of there and make a coin and do that? Why can't they do that? Why not? I'm not understanding.
Do something positive. And I understand
you're not gonna watch that if it's positive. Come on. Oprah Winfrey, when she first started her network, she started it as being positive. Do you know how many people tuned in? A couple of thousand. When she switched the content, when she switched the content to Tyler Perry shows, and also to Carlos King, those reality shows, now she's getting millions of viewers. So people say they want positive, but when positive come and present themselves, people don't watch it. So that's why people is with the ratchet. I'm just saying, in my humble opinion.
I understand. I clearly understand. And what you're saying, yes, is true. But it just bothers me so bad that they are sitting up here scratching each other eyes out when they should be bonding together, making more of a positive movement. If you're gonna fight, just argue and make it seem like it's real. You know, people have done that, create storylines, but you don't have to fight to the I don't know if you can say this word, but to like the DEATH of each other. I just clearly don't understand it. Zeus may not be like Nature Boy, but Zeus is creating a cult. That's and people may disagree with me.
I disagree because I watch Zeus and it don't make me want to go out there and bop nobody in the head. It's entertainment. It's allowed for content that people like. So I don't see a problem where people.
Well, you don't want to bust people's head because
no. What
you're too bright.
No. I'm not gonna do that. But what I'm saying is, I like to see people go back and forth and mollywop each other on television. I like that. I think what Zeus is doing, Zeus Network is creating this platform where people that want to go and box it out can go and box it out. It's no different than watching the UFC fighting. No different than watching boxing. No different than watching wrestling. So why not have this whole outlet on Zeus where black people
Boxing
go back and forth and do that? But what I'm saying is,
boxing and wrestling.
I understand that, but what it's still some part of entertainment that you can really get hurt and injured. So I don't see a problem with, especially black gay men coming out, going live, boxing each other, fighting each other on television. I don't see a problem because VH1 does it, MTV does it, Bravo does it, and Oxygen did it as well. What's the issue with a black-owned company? Why can't a black-owned company do it? That's what I'm not understanding.
VH1 and all them, they do storylines. If you see some of the people who are on those shows, they even admit to doing storylines. Now, yes, some of them, like Jocelyn, you know, her being coked out, of course, her actions were going to be different. And look, she couldn't be with VH1. She had to go lower budget. You know, I just feel like I don't like a whole bunch of fighting. It's not boxing. It's not MMA. It's not wrestling because it's not controlled. And they're not making hundreds of thousands from it. These people are potentially hurting their future because honestly, I don't see anybody making it top tier from Zeus. But I'm just, in my mind, I'm going to think it's now becoming a cult. But I appreciate you for listening to me and offering your feedback too, Wiley, as usual.
All right. Thank you so very much for coming on. Thank you so very much. Okay. 4635, call you on air.
Hey, Wiley. Happy Saturday.
Hey.
I just wanted to thank Tripsy for coming through and giving us some insight on her perspective of this carbonation thing. And shout out to you, too, with all the interviews you've been getting and bringing forth for us. I wanted to just say that I just have a question. My thing is, I wonder if Nature Boy approved the ladies and gentlemen of his group to talk. Do you think, I wonder how Tasha was able to get them to be interviewed by her? What do you think?
No, I think it was approved because it's good publicity for carbonation, because what it would do is some person that's weak-minded was like, well, I want to join. I want to be whatever they was doing. They make the sound. So I just think it's promotion for carbonation.
Oh, okay. Because to me, it doesn't look like he would approve for something like that. And then at the same time, you're right. It does look like he probably would want it promoted, since for whatever reason. I don't know. But my other question was, you know how they hold their fingers together? And because I know you've seen the video, the interview. And you know how, I think it was Afuru. It seems like they hold their fingers together to clap. I don't know, is that clapping that they're doing, or is that What do you think that is? And Tripsy, I see you still in the chat. I wish you would come back on because I really think you have the answers, sis, and I want to know your perspective for real. But what is it that they do with their fingers? Is that clapping? Is that something like what is that?
I don't have no idea for that. Okay, so they said they called her and they suggested for a donation. I get that because it's good publicity because what it would do, people will send more donations. It will definitely promote carbonation, and especially when she released it on YouTube, that's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are going to view this group. Some going to join, some going to donate because they're going to be sympathetic to the group, and we will definitely see that because if you didn't know any better, they are educated. They sound very intelligent, educated, right? So if you didn't know any better, you would be like, well, maybe I should give that a chance. Let's not act like they didn't make some valid points and why they following that coach. But I know better, and I know I'm not gonna leave my family behind to join something like that. Not at all. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But
Absolutely not. It's really strange, but I mean, I guess it's their truth or whatever. I don't know, but
thank you.
I pray for them for real because they can't possibly believe that what they're thinking is the right way. I understand they're trying to tap to their inner self. But I mean, you don't got to leave your family to tap into your inner self. You don't have to leave all that you know.
All right, thank you.
Tap into your inner self. It's crazy.
Thank you so very much for calling in.
Oh, thank you, Wiley. Oh, and let me just say this. And Malia seemed like she got a demon in her. I just wanted to say that part.
Okay,
all right, thank you, Wiley.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Okay. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, so I'm going to agree with the previous caller, not the one that just came on because, she was good and everything. Okay, so first of all, this is my first thing. Your guests, they pay too much attention to the chat. You know what I'm saying? Say what you got to say and go on about your business. Second, have you ever heard of sovereign citizens? Sovereign citizens believe that they,
You said what citizen?
Sovereign.
Oh no, I've heard of that before. No, I have not. Welcome. I have Immoral. How you doing, sis? I have you on. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So I'm gonna finish up this last caller, but go ahead, sis. Finish your last point.
Okay, so a sovereign citizen is a person who believes that that he or she is above the law and that they don't have to, pay attention to whatever. It's been going on in Texas for a long time. So that's why I'm so like, why is everyone so intrigued about Nature Boy? This has been going on forever. Now, if you're doing it for clicks and views or, trying to get monetized on it or whatever, I understand. However, they've been doing this. When it comes to a black man doing this, we have so much to say. And what we're doing is we are adding to belittling and degrading our community. This is not the first man that's done this. That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you so very much. But does that make it right? All right.
It doesn't make it right. No, it doesn't make it right. But
okay.
The thing is, let's not just focus all of our attention on this man who had like 5 members.
Well, he had more than that. He had more than 6 members.
Okay.
And a woman said she was violated, was kidnapped, couldn't leave, and then they was releasing some unflattering videos of her, and the SWAT, broke down the door and they came through. So of course, this is going to make news because the group Carbonation and more. If you want to say anything about it, you can interject as well. They was posting stuff all on social media. All this stuff was posted on social media where he was instructing one of the members to slap the other members. So all of this stuff was posted publicly. So of course the public is going to be interested in talking about it.
Okay, so let me be the devil's advocate. Why do you go over the Amber Heard and whatever the guy's name, Johnny Depp conversation? Because he's supposed to have done all this stuff to this girl as well. I mean, you guys are blowing this all out of proportion. Like, y'all acting like these people didn't have a decision to make as far as following this person. You know what I'm saying? We
But
all make decisions. We all make our own decisions. I don't understand. I mean, just help me, educate me on it.
well, for me, the simple point is it's on social media, so people are going to talk about it. It is what it is. They are all on Bingo. They was on YouTube. It was on Instagram. They've been posting this stuff, so people are going to talk about it. It is what it is. And people talked about Amber Heard. They talked about Johnny Depp. They talked about that as well. But people are going to talk about Carbonation because they are very active on social media. That's why people are talking about it. If they were just a cult, just on some type of deserted island without going live, they wouldn't have been a story. But the reason why they are a story is because they post so much information, and their leader, for a lot of new people that's like myself that are listening to what they're talking about or actually paying attention, is when Nature Boy was arrested. That would make me interested into looking at them on, to say, okay, they are really, really, really trash. Like, why in the world would you leave your family behind doing this? And then also Tasha K interviewing them on her channel or her app. That's even bringing more new people interested into what they're about. All right.
Okay. So let me give you another instance. Okay.
Your last point.
Lisa Left Eye. Okay. So didn't Lisa Left Eye go to Costa Rica or whatever because she wanted to get cured from herpes or whatever by Dr. CB? But you guys weren't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, YouTube wasn't
so,
exist. You're talking about a situation before social media even existed. If social media was existed during that time, and you can go live on YouTube or go live on we would have been talking about Lisa Left Out. We would have been talking about Dr. Sabi. We would have been, and then it have been people talking about Dr. Sabi. Some people even said that he was a fraud. Some people were saying that. Some of his critics were saying. So let's not act like people wasn't talk. People were. It just wasn't on social media.
Okay. All right. Well, great job, Wiley.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
All right. I have a YouTuber here. Immorals. Is it Immoral Morals?
It's Immortal Morals.
Immortal.
Immortal. Like
Mortal.
I can't die. Immortal.
Okay, so you are the expert on carbonation. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I've been following them for a long time.
Okay. So what do you have to say of them doing an interview now with Tasha K? Do you think that this organization can survive without their leader?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. And the whole interview with Tasha K, that's just one that was a money grab for her because it's a hot topic. Tasha K didn't care nothing about carbonation before this huge arrest. Didn't care one lick a bit. And they were still doing the same exact shit they've been doing. She didn't give a fuck. So because it's a hot story and this Cardi B thing is happening, she's trying to cash in. Now, on their behalf, she is giving them the opportunity to rebrand themselves and come out into the community and represent themselves to the community who do not know their past and don't know them at all, as if they're really this Black leadership, Black power type of cult or organization, and it's completely and utterly the opposite of that.
Wow.
And that's kind of what makes us mad, the people that's been reporting about them forever, that's not getting paid by this. It's like you're giving a cult a platform, you're giving them a microphone, so they're reaching out to other people that had no knowledge about them. No one needs to know about carbonation. We're trying to meet them, but you're giving them a microphone. And so in that interview that I saw with Tasha K, it was full of BS. It was full of lies. And she allowed them to lie. She didn't ask any of the hard questions. None of that. But I can see that she's going to try to make this into a series so she can bank on it. But I don't know how she's going to do that because all the members have dispersed.
Well, the mainstream media, I think Live 11 or the local media there was covering it. I personally think, like, if you're a YouTuber and you have a business, you're gonna cover it, and that's what Tasha can have. She have a business. It's a good, interesting story to bring it up. Now, when I saw the live it's like this, like a whole new group. Like they were so intelligent, they wasn't using profanity. And to the average viewer, they'd be like, "Well, what's the problem? I don't see no issue with them. They're good-looking people, good-looking men, good-looking women." And they just decide to follow a guy. I don't think it's a cult. Some people don't believe that it's a cult. When I was reading the comments, some do believe when the woman said she left her child behind, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like that was that was something right there. But do you believe that this interview with that Tasha K did with Carmination will help Nature Boy, or would it hurt him in court?
It's going to hurt him because it just proved to thousands of people that this is surely indeed a cult. You just said that we were told that we could not bring any attachments to this organization, which means I need to leave my child that I brought into the world. I need to leave them to commit myself and my entire being to you. I am here to serve you. They said that in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then when Malia even said that they had a brawl, a fight on the beach to win the queendom, that was more proof that he egged that on and he allowed that to happen in his presence. He didn't try to stop it. None of that. So, and she said that she won, but she didn't. She got her ass kicked. Velvet kicked her ass. She had to kiss Velvet's feet at the end of that. I don't know how she forgotten that, but it's all over YouTube. You didn't win that fight. And that's another thing that bothered everyone. She was just full of fucking lies. All of them were.
Wow. And he and all, you see all of this stuff that's going on. They kept saying that I watched a video, I seen this video, and the video I just fell in love with it. Where in the world was he saying those videos to make some of these people that's in college, very intelligent?
Right. See, that's the misconception about the psychology of cults that people don't understand.
Okay.
Because I'm a cult enthusiast, so I read about this. Is all I do is that's so the psychology behind. A lot of people think that weak-minded, vulnerable, airheaded, slightly touched people join cults that don't really have it all there. That's not the case. If you look throughout history, there are a lot of very wealthy, prominent, intelligent people that have joined cults. There are a lot of really intelligent people that joined Jim Jones. A lot of doctors, therapists, all kinds of stuff like that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be dumb to join a cult. You just have to have something that's kind of off in your brain to make you feel like this man that bleeds just like you is of some sort of higher power. That's when it clicks off. But it really has nothing to do with intellect. It's like people are trying to find something to belong to. You know what I mean? It's a natural human thing to want to believe in something. Everyone wants to believe in something. But to believe in someone so religiously, that's when it's concerning. That's when it's concerning because God can be born. Mm-hmm. And what they fail to realize, because they're so contradictory, everything they say is a contradiction. Everything they do is a hypocrite. God can't be born, and we name God. Humans named God. So we can't even fathom what this entity is that they're calling, that they say that they are. We can't even fathom that. So it's blasphemous to say that you're something that created a universe, but you were born just like me and you.
And then my thing is this: if that's your God, why is he arrested? Why can't he just poof get himself out of jail? How I look at the logic here,
because he's just a regular black man, who has the gift of gab. That's all he just has. He's very charming. He's very outgoing. He's an entertainer. He was a gay escort, a gay dancer. He loves to entertain. That's his personality. So with him having a gift of gab and can retain knowledge from YouTube University, it wasn't very hard to start a cult. It's not hard to start a cult at all. There's 10,000 cults in America right now. It's not difficult to do.
Wow.
You just have to find vulnerable people to listen to your bullshit.
Because I'm like, whoa, I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, what in the world is going on? Why is they following for this? Do you feel that with Nature Boy and all of this, that that it will stop Black people from joining the cult? Do you think them looking at this, seeing him being in jail, do you think that will stop Black people from joining the cult from this situation, seeing that he's in jail and been arrested? Do you think that was kind of like stop people from joining cults?
I'm hoping that people will research Nature Boy now and not just look at his current new videos and all the live videos that they're currently doing while he's in jail. People need to go back to when he was Nature Boy and not through God, when he was beating up on all these women on camera, when they would come on camera, when Aya would come on camera with the black eye, she would have to wear shades at night. Those kind of videos need to be shown. The videos where Velvet is where Nateri is talking about how Velvet was in a circle and she was getting beat on and until she was beaten out of her clothes on July 4th. Let's talk about that. Well, why are we talking about that? Where's Zoka's baby? There's no birth certificate. There's no death certificate. Well, let's talk about that. People need to know these things. And people need to know what happened to Mama Dia, how he told Mama Dia, don't take your blood pressure medication. Don't take your heart medication. All you need is the source. All you need is the sun. And she died.
Wow.
Because you told her to stop taking medication, but then you bring your ass over to Atlanta because your ass is sick, you and Malia, to come take medication.
Wow, I'm seeing them in Atlanta and all of this stuff that's really, really going on. Do you think that Nature Boy will go to prison for a long time?
Absolutely. Just because of the recent warrants that were just put out for every electronic device. There was I think 7 iPhones and 2 tablets. They have a warrant out for. So once they go into that cyber world of Nature Boy, because what people don't understand is Nature Boy is a pervert. Let me just start there. So he has a whole following in the underworld that no one even fucking knows about because he does porn. He's all over P-Hub, all over it.
Wow.
So there's no telling what kinds of things that he was doing and selling to wealthy Caucasianoid people or anyone who would buy that kind of content, because he's done it before. He got caught when he first came out as Nature Boy, before he went to the tropics and all that. He was involved with a high profile celebrity until that celebrity got called out for funding Nature Boy. And he was a part of a ring that was watching illicit videos of things that you can't just Google. You just can't type in Google. You have to really go to the dark web to look for it. Let me just say that. And Nature Boy was involved with him.
That is crazy. Because right now, you don't see that. You see them sitting down. You see them well dressed. You see them with their hair, with the makeup. The guys, you don't see all of this drama.
It's an act. It's all an act. And I have to give them a round of applause because I've been doing this. How long? My first IG page got taken down 4 months ago. It's 2022. I've been following them since 2017. And when I tell you, this is all an act. They have been every motherfucking religion on the planet. They have been African. They have been Hawaiian. They have been Hindu. They have been Asian. They have been Egyptian. Everything under the sun. This whole new black garb that they're wearing with the gold makeup and all that shit. First of all, that was inspiration from Nateri because they kept all her shit, all her makeup. Wow. Okay, and so really, what they're just grown adults that are kind of slightly slow who like to play dress up. That's all they do. And so they're putting on a front because their master is in jail and he's going to prison. They're putting on a front so people like you that don't know their past think, oh, they're just a black organization. They're just a black polygamous group, couple, family who's raising a child in a village type setting. What's wrong with this? No, y'all get the fuck beat out of y'all, and we've seen it. Malia, there was a chunk of meat bitten off of your breast. Are you kidding me? Nature Boy whipped you 200 times with the belt. But you're the queen. When Tasha K said, do any of y'all want to be the queen? And if you ever watched them throughout the years, when that question is asked, no one ever wants to be queen. You know why?
Because he'll beat them?
He beats the queen the worst. She gets it the worst. So no, even Aya old ass don't want to be queen. She is fine cooking. That's her job. Okay. Efru is fine picking out his dandruff and his skin psoriasis off his face and doing his hair. That's her job. Sheba's the cleaner. Zoka's the fighter. And Sheba is the bed. I mean, she's the sex doll. She's just a blow up doll. He's even said that out of his mouth. Malia is my sex doll. She's a living sex doll. But that is God.
Mm.
And this is what people don't know. And I'm getting ready to post, when I get off of this live with you, I'm going to post on my channel pictures from the Zoom call the day before he got arrested.
Wow.
And what he was doing the day before he got arrested, because I told all of my followers on my IG page to go report that Zoom call because he was doing pornography in front of Ja. And you can hear Ja in the background while Nature Boy is getting fellatio. But Tasha K's not asking these questions. And the evidence is out there.
Now, I don't know if Tasha K will ask it because I think they're doing it in part. So I don't know how big of it over there. But I want to ask you, do you think all the members are having sex with each other or no? Are they just having sex with Nature Boy?
No, they just have sex with Nature Boy. This is Nature Boy. Nature Boy is a big ass kid. He's like a Peter Pan, but a sadist type Peter Pan. He never grew up. So he created his own world and he has willing participants to play the characters he wants them to play.
So is that dude, he have sex with the men as well?
Absolutely. Even Velvet hinted towards that, who happens to be his legal wife. Natiri hinted towards that. She even said that Nature Boy and Solar used to flirt all the time. Okay. True has said multiple times how much he loves Nature Boy. All the time. And if you notice, all the men there are really small and Nature Boy is the biggest one there. And that's purposely done.
Wow.
And people don't know that. That's purposely done. That's a cult tactic 101. I have to keep my subordinates weak because I'm the king. I'm strong. I'm the big one. So you're going to eat at this time. You only eat once a day. You'll eat the scraps and you're going to sleep on the floor. You're going to be weak. So you can never even get a thought in your mind that you could take me on because I'm the big bad God. I'm the biggest one there. He's the biggest man in there. And he does that purposely. When Jax first got there, he was kind of meaty. Jax was kind of meaty. But all that weight got lost. Gone.
Wow. Because they don't look like big guys, at all. Even the women. It's really sad. If any of the members are listening right now, what advice would you give them right now?
I will tell them to go home because their dream fantasy has come to an end. Everything good comes to an end. Everything that goes up must come down. It's over. We have been trying to get this man behind bars for many, many years. And Janae Natiri was the icing on the cake. Okay, so because of all the evidence and all the documentation that we've been submitting for years, that's why he was arrested the way that he was.
Wow.
Natiri was the ice. They just needed to get him for something to lock him up, to put him behind bars. But there's so many charges on him. There's RICO, there's trafficking, there's so much. He's not going nowhere. So these women need to go home. They need to go home. Even if he was to get free, he has nowhere to go. There's no more carbonation. It has fallen. Y'all are about to get evicted.
Wow, really?
There's no more money coming in. No, I completely divert all donations. Like whenever they ask for money, I go on a tangent. Do not donate to a cult. These are grown adult people who are choosing not to work, not to fend for themselves, but they degrade the people that follow them and tell everyone that they're asking money for that we're better than you. But give us your money because we ain't going to work. But you gonna donate to us though, and watch our get our asses beat, and watch us do porn on Zoom, and watch Nature Boy fuck us on Twitter. Donate so you can watch that.
Wow.
They need to be stopped. They need to go home. It's over. Aya has a 13-year-old son. This is all kinds of trauma that he's going to have when he gets older. And Malia's son. And it doesn't make sense that they're always talking about the black man is God, the black man is God, the black man is king. You have 2 sons, 2 black sons. What about them? You went on a whole tangent talking about you'll never leave his side. You'll stay loyal. Why not be loyal to the kings that you brought into this world, though? What happened to them? You're repeating the same generational curses that you preach about to your own kids.
Mm. Wow. And so I'm assuming that you're going to watch all the parts that Tasha K going to do, because I don't know if it's going to be some more parts as well. I don't know if Nature Boy going to make an appearance from jail at all. I will also like to ask you, and I'm going to be honest, what about the parents? Do you think they should get involved to like press charges or try to, go after them legally? You know how they went, like R. Kelly people, you had the Savages doing that. Do you think that those people, parents, should get involved?
That's a great question. I've actually, I've spoken to Efru's cousin, who is very close to Efru's mom. And what Efru said in that interview is absolutely correct. Her mother does support her. She has gone there, and even her grandmother. But it hits her grandmother way harder because her grandmother spent way more time with her.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla and her mother don't really have an emotional relationship. So that's why it was kind of easy for her to leave. Now, as far as the other parents, like you heard, what's her name? Zoka. Zoka. She said that she tries to talk to her parents, but her father gets angry and starts to talk about Nature Boy, so she hangs up the phone.
Wow.
So they can't do anything. If you're an adult, if my child was in a cult, I can't call the police and be like, hey, my daughter's in a cult, go arrest them. It doesn't happen that way. Is she over 18? Yep. Okay, so she's choosing to get her ass beat until she's ready, until she's done and over with, and says enough is enough. We can't do anything. The parents can't do anything. And a lot of family members have come to me and they're completely and utterly embarrassed by this bullshit. They don't want no one to know that they're even related to them because it's embarrassing. Now this is like national. First they were like a little corner in the social media world, but now it's everywhere. So their family, they're like completely and utterly embarrassed. And this Tasha K interview did not help it at all.
Do you? I think Tasha did it for a couple of reasons. She wanted to know about it, and it was intrigued by it. And it's a good story to tell before Barbara Walters or Gayle King or any of these other mainstream people get a hold to it. It's just a very interesting story. You don't think so? It's just interesting. People.
It is interesting, but I just wish she would speak more. Honestly, no, because I'm not gonna lie. I showed a couple of people the video, okay? And a lot of people that's been watching them for years, they were really pissed off about the conversations about them being in school and their childhood and all that shit. This is not why we're here. Let's talk about all the sick, disgusting, horrendous things that you've been doing. Like, I don't want to hear about your time in Howard, Sheba. I don't. Let's talk about when Ja's hair was falling out, and I have pictures where there's plugs of his hair gone. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how he used to cry when he was hungry and Nature Boy will walk right past him and yell at him. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Nature Boy would yell at you not to spend time with your own son. You were not allowed to spend time with Ja when Nature Boy was there. She could not be a mother to him. And people don't know that, but that question wasn't asked. And that's what people need to know. Sheba's not this giving, loving, nurturing mother that she's portraying. She is not. She's not. It's all a facade. They're acting for you.
I feel you on that. Wow, it's just so good to have you on the show. I know you're gonna go live. Can you announce your channel, promote your channel so people can go and follow you?
Yeah, it's just my name, Immortal Morals, and my IG is Immortal Morals 2.0.
All right, make sure y'all go check her out. I'm interested. I'm gonna be watching. I didn't know half the stuff that they were doing. I just knew that the last thing I heard about carbonation or nature boy, and they was in a jungle, and I stopped watching it from that point. But now it's like
man,
more of that. I'm like, whoa. That's why I was interested in watching it on Tasha K app, and y'all can go and watch it on TashaKLive.com. People that didn't get a chance to see it, and that's what made me interested in watching on there because I'm like, I didn't know too much about them. I wasn't following everything that they do. And I'm assuming that they've been doing a lot because you just breaking it down that they have been doing a lot of illegal stuff. Sound like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of illegal things. I mean, the PPP loans, I exposed that. They actually used my YouTube page, my IG page on Atlanta Live to show that PPP loans with Zoka's information on it, because I exposed all that shit. It's just they've done a lot of illegal things, and I completely forgot what was I saying. What was I supposed to say?
About the loans.
The loans.
Yeah, they just got some more loans. That's what the other two ran off with, that money.
Well, yeah, they don't really know about that, but
yeah.
Yeah, but there's it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. And the people, the new people that are just learning about them because of Tasha K, y'all have no idea who these people are, dude. These are some demonic people. And if you're spiritual at all, I don't know who's spiritual or who's not or who believes in that, but it's real. And they do practice the occult. I just want to make that very clear. And if you do happen to follow them or watch them, please protect your energy and know that these people have a dark entity attached to them, because Nature Boy has a dark entity attached to him. And that's why he's always saying, you're my reflection. You're my reflection. Those are spells. And that's why I prefer that people not call them by their cult names, call them by their real names, because once you do that enough, the universe hears that and they'll feel it. It'll break the spell. So when you see Zoka, her name is Jayon, or you see Aya, her name is Portia, Sheba, her name is Kendra, call them by their names and help break that spell, because that's not who they are.
Would you go down to Atlanta and try to rescue them?
No. Okay, I can see in the comments the people are I don't know, but y'all are funny. Anyway, I started talking about carbonation because I happen to have a teenage daughter, okay? And they directly target teenagers. They target young adults. The queen is 24 years old. Let me just say that. My stepdaughter is 23. So that's why I started reporting about them, because I thought other mature adults with children would want to know too. But since y'all think it's funny and I'm too invested, then don't follow me. Because actually, I've got several messages from women thanking me for spreading awareness about this sick STD spreading cult and their children not joining. You're welcome. You're welcome. I just posted 2 other cults on my page that specifically target teenagers. My girlfriend was scrolling IG last night and happened to see a 16-year-old talking about peace to the gods. She's 16. What do you mean peace to the gods? And she's referring to Nature Boy. That's what I'm trying to stop. But if I'm too invested because I'm trying to police my community and I'm trying to save people from getting snatched up like these people, then if y'all think it's comical or funny, then go ahead. But guess what? I'm not going to stop. because I know that I saved a couple of people from going to carbonation and getting beaten or getting an STD or getting whatever the case may be. Because once you go there, you're going to leave with something. And that's a fact.
Wow. Well, I thank you so very much for coming on the Wiley Show, giving us your take. I can't wait to see your live and see the new updated information you have on carbonation.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to open up the phone lines. If anybody want to call in, the number is 646-716-8447. This was so great, bringing people on, bringing awareness. I'm learning some things new about carbonation that I did not know about. And so wow. But I think what Tasha K did is it's Emmy Award winning material, because what she did, she's humanizing carbonation, in my humble opinion. She's humanizing them, because you learn about their upbringing, about their parents, about them leaving their truth. So I think it's the human aspect that you're looking at. The human aspect of this is that she's humanizing them, and that's what I feel about it as well. I just don't agree you leaving your children to follow this. That's something I'm like, whoa, okay. But that's what I think. I think she's humanizing them, and you get information that way. So let's go to the phone lines. 4429, you live on air.
Oh my God, Wiley! Some of the stuff we were talking about, she was when I was talking about children and teenagers and young women, how they prey on them. I follow Trip C, and I listened to some of it, but I didn't know. Oh my God, Wiley! I didn't know it was this insane.
Mm-hmm. Listen. It's a lot with the group that it is, but people were saying Tasha should interview them, and I challenge that, but Tasha, because
I say Tasha, that's not her lane. She don't know. She's just going on what's popular out there in the news. It could have been Santa Claus, fell down and everybody picked it up. She would interview that. You know what I mean? It's not her lane. So Tasha's not going to go research, the background of it all to get those. She's just doing the surface. So that's her lane. You know what I mean? But I didn't know it was this deep of a rabbit hole. I've heard little bits and pieces of stories here or there. And I just want to say the ladies that came on are not clout chasing, because I asked Wiley, did he want to interview them? Thank you very much. Okay. And I do think this will help some people. And if the people in the chat will talk to their children, it could be girls or boys or whatever, because I'm going to talk to my niece and nephews, because it don't have to be Nature Boy's cult. It could be anybody's cult. It could be an abusive man. It could be an abusive woman with those cult-like traits that get you, messed up with them or whatever. And it could be just, some of the things they talk about is true about, how Black people are treated in America and all that, and people latch on to that, and then you start listening to more and more, and then you're drawn in, and then you're in the cult. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Because with Tasha K, she's like the Diane Sawyer, or Oprah Winfrey, or the Oprah, or the Oprah Winfrey. She's humanizing them. And
the Oprah Winfrey, I think she more like the
did you watch the interview? I watched it, and I didn't even know they were streaming it on Bingo. I don't know how she can stop them from streaming her stuff on Bingo, because I pay for the app.
You can't do nothing with Bingo, honey. What sector we came from?
The B sector.
The B sector on YouTube. No, Bingo is the.
And I'm thinking about joining Bingo, because I love the mess. Because I be so.
You don't want to be in that type of mess. They go beyond.
I like it.
They will call the police to your house. They will call your job. They will call social service on you. They will call your mom. They will call. You will go in there. They will find out about you in 0.02 seconds.
Yeah, because with me, Brianna, I think, is on bingo.
You
and
could
she-
lurk, get you a troll page and just lurk.
Yeah, I watch it, but I won't be necessarily into the drama and stuff like that. But
Right.
I will mostly try to do something else creatively. But when it comes to carbonation, if I didn't know any better, I'll be doing a chirp, 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 chirp. I'm like, wait, what they doing? Chirp, chirp, chirp.
But you know, those people to me are so far gone, like are so programmed.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know how you get unprogrammed from a cult. Like, and it seems like once you're in there, even if you do get unprogrammed, it just seems like you would still be dealing with so much trauma from things that happened inside of that you would just be, you know, in some type of therapy, whether it's, you know, a psychiatrist or whatever something else that you need to do to just stay sane after becoming unprogrammed. Like, it just seems so, you know, dark, like she said, so dark.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much, Blue Skies, for calling in.
Okay, thanks, Wiley.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh,
Okay.
and I'm a cash app you because I know it was a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. We got 2 more callers waiting in on here. Okay, let's go to our next caller. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, yes.
Oh, okay. That caller, not the one who just got off, but the previous one, she was very informative about Nature Boy and the carbonation. And I just think that she had a little bit of displaced anger and frustration towards Tasha K, because Tasha K was just interviewing them and she didn't really have the background story. But I think, you know, coming from someone like myself who knew nothing about Nature Boy or carbonation, you know, it was helpful, whether it be Tasha K or that woman, I guess Mortal, whatever her name is. You know, it is good to get the information out there. But I think she had a little anger and frustration towards Tasha K. And I think it was displaced because I think Tasha K was just doing what, you know, interviewing them and putting the information out there about these people that to us, because I damn sure did you know something about them prior to Tasha K?
I know a little bit about Nature Boy, but I was not following at all. So that's why I was really paying attention to Tasha K interview, because I didn't know any other members, and some of the members are good looking people. Like all of them are good looking people. Like, they was slurred over their words, they was giving their point of view. So this was my first time seeing them, you know, seeing these members. Yeah, this is my first time.
Right. Yeah, and you know, they seem like characters to me, you know, like somebody who don't know, who knew nothing about them. But that previous caller, not the one who just got off, but the other one, she gave more in-depth information, what I thought was very helpful. And she was very passionate about getting that information out there about Nature Boy and you know, letting the young people know, you know, not to join them. He's a devil. It's a con. Basically saying that they're a con. But to be honest with you, no matter where you are, it's very hard. I hate to use the word hard, to prevent people from joining a cult, because I always say Scientology is a cult religion, and some of the most famous people are a part of Scientology, but we don't know a lot about them because they move in secrecy, and yet they worth millions. And so all we can do is, you know, I guess, you know, be like-minded individuals, teach our young not to be so impressionable, stay in church, you know, whatever church. I mean, I don't know, you know, I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is that despite what information is being put out there, people are still joining cults. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This Nature Boy carbonation is not the first, and it will not be the last, unfortunately. So, but that's all I had to say.
All right, thank you so very much. Okay. Hey, hold on, callers. I'm gonna bring somebody on StreamYard. Hello, Buffalo. How you doing? Buffalo, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Hey, Wiley.
Okay, I can hear you now. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You was breaking up, but go ahead. Can you mute me in the back? Can you just hello? Okay, mouth open is not working. Hello?
Greetings, Wiley.
Hello. Yes, go ahead. What was on your mind?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Wiley, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You should just call in
I
because
can't seem to hear you.
okay, you have to just call in.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me, Claire?
Okay. Yeah, it's not doing it, so she's gonna have to call in. 3071. Call you on air.
Yes, I just want to say, a lot of people may not know about Nature Boy, and they're not subscribed to Immortal or 3Cs. My sister is conservative, and she watches Tasha K's app. Didn't share the video with me, but she asked me if I knew about it, and I said yes. So I just want to know, why is it that Tasha K can't deliver informative, educational content, but other people can? You know, it makes no sense. A lot of people don't know about MB, so they want to hear the background. They want to hear the story. They want to get educated on it. So I just don't understand why people are mad at Tasha K for her having, to put out the video, and I guess others didn't. It shouldn't matter who talks about it, as long as people are being educated and they're talking to their kids about it. So let's just be thankful that other people are talking about it and they're getting the message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think anybody can talk about it because you know what I'm saying. You have your platform. If they agree to do it. Tasha K brought in cameras. She brought in mics, and so she brought in the lights. And she have a big platform. So it's very strategic of Carmen Nation to not act ignorant, to act professional, because they're gonna get donations. They're gonna get promotion. It was very strategic on their end. So that's all to say about that. Very strategic. Anonymous, you live on air. Is you Anonymous?
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the Wiley Show.
Hi, Wiley. Greetings. How are you, love?
All right.
It's mouth open. So you actually make me get out of my bed. So I know you love Tasha K and you want to give Tasha K a props, and you're saying that, Tasha K is humanizing Nature Boy and all this stuff. Wiley, this is a subject that you really need to do research on. Like the things that Nature Boy have done, like your guest, Immortal, she is very informed. I used to follow people who talk about Nature Boy and try to get him arrested for the things that he's done. Like they're banned in maybe like 5 different countries that literally ban Nature Boy from being in their country. There was a woman who went there, and when people go there, he takes away everything that they have, all their money, everything. There was a woman who went there, and he said he had on a special diet. She had health issues. She died. Maybe if she was in America at the time it happened, he probably would be in jail like long before. He literally had sex on a video with one of those women, because this is a new set of women. Some of the women left, had sex with her. And then right after they had sex, he had the baby playing with his penis. It's why, and when I tell you he is dark, when I tell you he is sick, when I tell you he is disgusting, and it's a lot of young women, like a lot of our producers was talking smack about the guests, but you better be careful and protect your daughters, because a lot of the women that's in this cult is young women who are easy to be influenced. It is, when I tell you this thing, I just stopped following the people and people on YouTube who were trying to get him arrested when he was out of the country, people who tried to save women who went there. There is mothers who went to other countries to get their daughters out of there. When they go there, they can't take their kids. If you have kids, you have to leave your kids, abandon your kids. Like, this thing is so dark and so disgusting. I am so happy he's in jail, and I hope he stay there for the rest of his life. And Tasha K, I don't watch Tasha K app or whatever, but she needs to do research and really bring this story for what it is, because it has people who have been invested in him and following for years and years, and it's years they're trying to get him arrested. But a lot of the things that he was doing was out of the country. And starving people, he's having sex with the men, he's having sex with the women. It's so dark, it's so disgusting, and it's so sick. It is so sick. And while if you're going to talk about this story, this is one story that you shouldn't troll on. Please.
No, I have. Listen.
Because
Everybody's not going to know all the details about Carbonation, but Tasha K have every right to interview him or his members because she have a platform. If people want to go in depth and get all information, create a channel and do that. But with what I think is very strategic of Carbonation is for a lot of people that don't know the history, this is a time for them to reinvent themselves and show the world that we're not negative. We are a religious group. I think that they are just
nothing about them is religious, Wiley.
Well, they were talking about religion. They were talking about it.
Because that's what he do. But he goes from, like, one time he is dealing with African entities. Next time he's dealing with, like, Mexican entities. Like, he just goes from one thing to the next. Like, he's into porn. He's into stuff with kids. Like, stuff on the dark web. Like, this thing is serious and it's sick. It's really sick.
He was arrested, but this is a time for his members. I have to reinvent themselves, and they're doing a great job because the general public is like, well, some of the general public is saying, well, it's not that bad what they're doing.
Yeah, because the general public don't know the history and don't know the story behind it. And that's what I'm saying. People who interviewing them should really talk about these stuff in detail. I'm not saying that Tasha K shouldn't interview them. She definitely should. But she should do research and ask the hard questions. Like, he make these women, instead of him beating on them, because he used to beat on them. Like, he beat one of them while she had the baby in her hand, and the baby fell out of her hand. And all this stuff is on video. This is not like somebody telling you some story. All these things are on video. There's recordings of all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people just need to really ask them the tough questions and call them out. Like, he has control over these people who go there. He used young, impressionable people. So what they saying, they're trying to clean up his image now. Like, even when he got arrested for rape with this girl, do you know how much times that girl got beat on? And what he did was, what he started doing in other countries, he used to beat them. In the U.S., what he started doing is having them fight each other. So they would jump on one and beat up that one if they do something wrong. He would, get them to beat on each other. It's like it's so dark. It's so disgusting. There's so much. It's years and years of him doing this thing. And have people who have dedicated channels to getting him arrested, to calling him out, and all the sick things that he's been doing.
And so you think he's going to spend a lot of time in jail, in prison? You think he's going to go to prison?
I don't know how much time he's going to get in jail, because this is only for the rape of that young woman. That's what he's in jail for. Oh, am I not supposed to say the R word?
No, but you said it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the R word. This is what he's in jail for, right? For the R word. But there's so much other things, but it didn't happen in America. So he probably only gonna, get jailed for the R word thing. But there is a lot more things that he's done. Like, I tell you, there's like videos, Wiley. He just had sex with someone and had the baby playing with his pee. Like, it's real sick, disgusting stuff with all all that stuff from sex. And he had the baby playing with him. Like, literally playing with it. It's sick. It's this. And there's video even on Pornhub of him having sex with men.
Wow.
Like there is so much stuff, Wiley. There is so much stuff, but I just stopped following the people because I found it was so toxic, so dark, so disgusting. Like it was just too much, and I stopped. And like I think your friend over there, Nick, she did an interview with some of them, but she asked a lot of the hard questions. She did an interview with some of them, and she asked a lot of the hard questions. But when I heard about him getting arrested, I started listening a little to what's going on with him and what's happening. And even when he got arrested, he was encouraging them to intimidate the girl who pressed charges against him. So he might have some witness tampering and all this stuff, other charges added on to the R charge that he has. But I hope he goes under the jail. And nobody needs to be humanizing these people. They need to be rescued. And some of them don't want to be rescued. They want to be there. But he would take them out to a club, right? There was a video. He took these women out to a club and in the middle of the street have them kneeling on the sidewalk and talking about what 3 God and whatever. And he changes his name over and over because he just takes on different entity and different personalities. It's all dark and disgusting.
All
really.
Right. But we thank you so very much for calling in.
Peace. Love
all
you.
Right, love you. Okay. The phone line is 646-716-8447. 0750.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
How are you?
All right.
Okay, Wiley. All right. I seen the interview Tasha did, and I knew nothing about these people until I started hearing Neat talk about it, and I watched her interview. She did too. But I'm glad you have this platform because even though you're not interviewing anyone, everybody's calling in, giving their information. And I'm glad that we're on this topic because this new generation is very impressionable. All this internet stuff, it's very easy for kids to get caught up on this. And we need a platform to talk about this. I'm glad everybody knows about these people so we can go back and tell our daughters, our sons too, but definitely our daughters about manipulation because that's what this is. This man is making up a whole religion as he go. This ain't no religion that just been around. This is something that this man just came up with. And just like your last caller said, a lot of these girls, they're young. They're very impressionable. And it's very easy for someone to, an older man to manipulate them. And this is getting out of control. And I just hope they lock this man up, throw away the key, because as we're all watching this, yeah, the feds, the police, and everybody else is watching this too. And I hope they take this man down. But the bad part about it is there'll be someone else to replace him. That's why we need to get on our girls and talk to our girls right now today. But thank you, Wiley.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me a voice. I love you. I've been watching you for a long time. And you go, Wiley.
Thank you.
Love you to death.
Love
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Okay. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey.
I just wanted to just call in and just say that mouth open, she has a really big mouth. Nobody likes her. I don't know why you have her as a moderator.
Well,
she is just have a big mouth. She's a bully. She bullies people.
Oh, come on, lady. Let's go to the next caller. I thought you were talking about carbonation. You talking about something totally different. But back to this carbonation situation, man. If I didn't know any better, I see why people join organizations. Now I'm gonna ask y'all whether you think it's a cult or whether you think this is a religious group. They have a right to go on Tasha K platform. They have a right to go on her platform to be interviewed because those women are young Black women, educated, and they're grown. Now, I would definitely be on their side if they were young teenagers, if they were young, kids joining this. Then I see a problem. But these are grown adults. And if you want to join an organization with Nature Boy, then do it. I don't see a problem with it. You are literally in your 20s. Most of them are in their 20s. Another lady, I think she said she was in her 30s. It's nothing wrong with that. If you have that on your situation and that's what you want to join, then it should go and join it if that's what you want to do. And that's when I say it in my humble opinion. If you are 20 some years old or 30 some years old and say, hey, this is something I want to join, then go ahead and do it. I don't see a problem with it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know this is what you want to join and you are young and you want to do that and you are in your 20s and that's what you want to do, you want to join that religious group, then do it. So, you know, you can't stop people from joining and coming together and joining something and say, hey, this is something I want to join. Three God. So if this is what you want to join and you're not being forced, then go ahead on and do it. I mean, hey, that's what you if that's what you want to do is what I'm saying. As a young adult, if you're grown, how can that stop you from doing what you want to do? In my humble, in my humble opinion, that's what I believe. Wiley Wade, okay. Now, if they were underage, then I can understand that it could be wrong. But if you are of age in your 20s, in your 30s, and that's something that you want to join, then you should have every right to do so. Thank you all so very much for tuning into the Wiley Show. I am your host, Wiley. Thank you all so very much for calling in. This was an amazing show. I want to give a special shout out to Blue Skies for reaching out to Immoral and also reaching out to Triple C's, bringing them on the show. Thank you so very much for that. If you want to be notified when I go live, because sometimes YouTube don't send out the notifications, you can text Wiley to 888 534-4939. Text Wiley, one word, WILEY, to 888-534-4939. Text Wiley, one word, to 888-534-4939. Okay. All right. So of course I'm gonna put a poll out on my community wall to see, do you believe that Nature Boy will serve time in jail? So I'm definitely going to have that as a poll. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, for giving their side. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, and leave us a comment. But I don't see nothing wrong with them joining if that's what they want to do. Peace.